Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's so wonderful to see your lovely faces this morning. It's bright, it's early, you've had your coffee. And now we're ready to listen to a few words of a congressional candidate. I just want to first acknowledge you all for inviting me out. Thank you so very much. I always love any time I get to speak to senior citizens. I love it. Okay? Just a little bit about me. I am a Alabama native. I was born and raised in Limestone County. Went to East Limestone High School. Went to Snead State Junior College in Boaz. And graduated from UAH in 1992. I've been married for over 24 years to the same beautiful woman, my wife, Cassandra. And we were blessed to have two wonderful children to this marriage. I currently work at Huntsville Hospital. I'm a computer person, so I love technology. I also serve as a minister at a Missionary Baptist church here in Huntsville. What do I have to offer the 5th Congressional District as a congressman? First, allow me to tell you what that district covers. That district covers Limestone County, Lauderdale County, Madison County, Jackson County, and Morgan County. Now, how many of you live in one of those counties out here? Great, one of them. All right, so those are potential votes. Then I need your vote. What do I have to offer you? What do I have to offer the 5th District as a congressman? I have a business degree from UAH. So therefore, I understand what businesses need to create jobs. I understand what the economy needs in order to move forward. I have over 25 years of technology experience, 10 years at Intergraph, and over 15 years at Huntsville Hospital. Because we are a district of top technology, Research Park, Redstone Arsenal, all of those things are about technology, and technology is my expertise. So I can help in that area. I have over 16 years of healthcare industry experience. Again, working for Huntsville Hospital, I understand what healthcare providers need in order to serve their patients like you and I well. After all, it's not just the fact that we need to afford medical treatment. We need to have top-notch medical treatment. And as some of you can back me up on here, the older we get, the more problems we tend to have, right? So we must have top-notch medical care, and we must have access to that medical care. Let me take just a few moments to tell you what I would do for you now if I were sent to Washington. First of all, I would recognize that Social Security and Medicare are not entitlements. They are benefits. Because you worked hard all of your life, and that money was taken out of your paycheck. A paycheck that had your name on it. You got up early in the morning and you went to work and you did your part. So they are not entitlements, they are benefits. They are things that are owed to you. And we need to protect those things. Now, my opponent, Mo Brooks, doesn't see it that way. But I do. It's worth protecting. It's worth keeping in place. Number 2, I want to fight for a cost of living adjustment in your retirement benefits. How many of you realize that prices of things are going up, right? I used to be able to go to the grocery store and take $50 and come out with 5 bags. But today, the same $50 would only get me about 1 or 2 bags. So we must have a cost of living increase, adjustment, because things are costing more. Healthcare, which is a major cost for seniors, is doing what? It's going up. So you must have a cost of living increase, and I will fight for that if you send me to Washington. I want to fight for a stable and solvent civil service retirement and disability fund. We must keep it solvent. We must do things to keep people from reducing its value, because so many people rely on that fund. We must not allow anybody in Washington to touch that fund in order to take away from it. And I will fight my opponent and anyone else who would propose to take anything away from that fund. What else would I do? I would protect the Employee Health Benefits Program. Very, very important. The Employee Health Benefits Program is important. We must not allow it to be eroded. We must not allow it to be raided. What else would I do? I would oppose efforts to privatize certain government functions that cause federal employees to lose their jobs. Understand what the word privatize really means. It really means profitize. So whenever my opponent talks about privatizing Medicare, what he really talks about is turning senior citizens over into the hands of for-profit industries who cannot make a profit off of senior citizens when it comes to health care. My opponent supports the Ryan budget, which basically gives us a voucher. I call it a coupon. It's nothing but a coupon. A coupon toward health care. And then sending senior citizens to for-profit providers with a coupon in their hand that doesn't cover their costs. I refuse to do that to you. I refuse to do that. I want to preserve and strengthen Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. My idea of strengthening does not mean taking benefits away. That's not strengthening. It does not mean privatizing elements or all of it. That's not strengthening. Strengthening these programs means to preserve the benefits that are already there. It also means to make them solvent in terms of finances. And there are ways to do that. So we strengthen these programs not by taking away from them, but by making sure that people who are on these programs get their full benefits, and making sure that the program itself is financially solid. What would I do? For the Postal Service, you've heard about it. I want to preserve the 6-day delivery for mail. Very, very important. I want to help the Postal Service become more competitive, which means we must make necessary changes without putting thousands of people out of work. What would be my message if you sent me to Washington? If I were to be sent to Washington and if you told me to take a message, what would I say? I would say that the current and future federal employees and retirees are willing to sacrifice their fair share. But they should not be singled out with extended pay freezes and the like. They have needs too. You are the fathers, the mothers, the grandfathers, the grandmothers. You have mortgages to pay. You're sending children through school. And guess what? You're taxpayers too. Yes, you're willing to do your fair share to make sure that we rebound from this economy. But you should not be singled out and pointed out and treated unfairly. My second message would be this. The federal employees and retirees are not the problem. The problem is we have a dysfunctional Congress who cannot work together and who cannot compromise and who refuse to do the right thing. You are not the problem. The problem rests in Washington. And my opponent is the ringleader when it comes to dysfunction. I want to go to Washington to help. It's very, very important in my closing to vote for the right person. It's not about party, it's about people. And there are good and bad people in every single party. I love my party. I love the Democratic Party. I love what the party stands for. That's why I am a Democrat. But the problems of our nation, of our country, of our state, will not be solved by Democrats alone. We will have to come together and talk and work out a compromise and do things that are right for everyone. You've heard about the so-called fiscal cliff that's coming. You've seen the arguing and the bickering in Washington. And with this current Congress that we have now, we will not see a compromise that's worth having. We have to replace people like my opponent with people who can work across the party aisle. Your benefit is at stake. Workers' benefits are at stake. Youth benefits are at stake. Disabled benefits are at stake. Our entire nation today is at stake. And I close by saying this. Every time I look at you, when I look out in the audience, I think about my own mother. My father was a sharecropper. He farmed. And we had a big family. I was the youngest of 10 children. Yes, 10 children. And my mother was a stay-at-home mother. And my father died when I was about 5 years old. But my mother lived until she was about 80. And I can still remember her. At the first of every single month, we were terribly, terribly poor. But at the first of every single month, she looked forward to receiving the benefit that my father had worked for, the Social Security check. And how she took that little money to feed 10 children is yet beyond me. But it was her benefit, not her entitlement. It was something that was owed her. And that's something that is owed you. So I want to say today, I'm for you. I'm on your side. I'll go to Washington and I'll speak up for you. But in order for me to do that, you got to vote for me. And you got to send me there to have your voice in Washington. Thank you very much.